Correct passage through intersections is one of the key factors in road safety in cities. Traffic rules impose fairly strict requirements on all road users who find themselves at an intersection at the same time. How to navigate an intersection? A difficult task according to traffic rules. According to the rules, the driver of a white car approaches a perpendicular road to turn left. At this time, a blue car, a tram, and a cyclist are traveling in different directions across his path. To solve the problem, answer the question: who should the driver of the white car give way to in these circumstances? There are quite a few possible answers here. 1. The tram and the blue car. 2. The cyclist. 3. Only the tram. 4. The tram and the cyclist. 5. No one. 6. Everyone. Think carefully, remember the traffic rules, and formulate the correct answer to this question for yourself. Then move on to the explanation. Explanation. Look closely at the picture. You see an unregulated intersection of equal roads. There are no traffic lights or priority signs. All traffic participants intend to drive straight through this intersection, except for the driver of the white car, who is signaling that he will turn left. In such conditions, drivers must give way in accordance with the current traffic rules, also known as the rule of right-of-way. At an intersection of roads of equal importance, the driver of a non-rail vehicle must give way to vehicles approaching from the right, except at intersections where a roundabout is organized. Tram drivers must also follow this rule. At the same time, at any unregulated intersection, a tram, regardless of its further direction of movement, has priority over non-rail transport approaching it on an equivalent road. Thus, in this situation, the tram has priority, even though the white car is an obstacle to its right. This means that the tram will pass through this intersection first in any case. Next, it can be noted that the driver of the white car has the right-of-way over the driver of the blue car. After all, he is an obstacle on the right for the blue car. At the same time, the cyclist is already obstructing the movement of the white car on the right, so the driver must give way to him. If we look at the situation from the point of view of the actual traffic situation, the blue car will most likely pass the intersection at the same time as the tram. But according to the rules, the order of passage here should be as follows. First goes the tram, then the cyclist goes, then the white car goes, and then the blue car goes. Thus, according to the traffic rules, the driver of the white car must give way to the tram and the cyclist. Therefore, the correct answer is the fourth one. Task. Is the driver of the black car allowed to make a U-turn? A traffic rule task that requires some thought. Answer options. 1. Yes, it is allowed. 2. No, it is prohibited. Analysis of the situation. First, pay attention to the road signs. Among them is a yield sign, indicating that the driver must give way to vehicles approaching an unregulated intersection on the main road. The image also shows a one-way street sign. It indicates the direction of traffic on the intersecting road, which is a one-way street. Therefore, the driver of the black car cannot turn left under any circumstances because in this case, he would be driving in the oncoming lane. At first glance, it may seem that turning is prohibited because the car's trajectory will pass in front of drivers who are traveling on a one-way road. However, it should be noted that turning is not a movement, but a maneuver, and it will be performed not on a one-way road, but at an intersection. In addition, neither the entrance to a one-way road sign nor the give way sign in itself prohibits turning around. However, it is important to remember that before any change of direction, the driver must ensure that it is safe and will not cause obstruction or danger to other road users. Since the traffic rules and signs shown in the task do not prohibit turning at intersections, the correct answer is number 1. Yes, it is allowed. The driver of the black car is allowed to make a U-turn. Task: is the blue car allowed to overtake the red car? 1. Yes, provided that traffic safety is observed. 2. Yes, if the overtaking is completed before the intersection. 3. No. Explanation: overtaking is the act of passing one or more vehicles by driving into the oncoming traffic lane. Before overtaking, the driver must ensure that A. None of the drivers of the vehicles behind them, who may be obstructed, have started to overtake. B. The driver of the vehicle in front in the same lane has not signaled their intention to turn, change lanes to the left. C. The oncoming lane into which they will be entering is free of vehicles at a distance sufficient for overtaking. D. After overtaking, he will be able to return to his lane without creating an obstacle for the vehicle he is overtaking. According to the traffic rules, overtaking is prohibited at intersections, at railroad crossings, and closer than 100 m before them. Closer than 50 m before a pedestrian crossing in a populated area, and 100 m outside a populated area. At the end of an incline, on bridges, overpasses, flyovers, sharp turns, and other sections of roads with limited visibility or in conditions of poor visibility. A vehicle overtaking or passing. In tunnels. On roads with 2 or more lanes in one direction. A column of vehicles behind which a vehicle with flashing lights, except orange, is moving. The traffic rules stipulate that on two-way roads with at least 2 lanes in one direction, it is prohibited to drive on the side of the road intended for oncoming traffic. The correct answer is number 3. Overtaking is prohibited. Task: which car will pass the intersection first? Answer options. 1. The white car. 2. The red car. Analysis of the situation. First, note that the driver of the white car sees a give way sign in front of him, while the driver of the red car sees a main road sign. Because of this, you might think that the driver of the red car has the right of way and should leave the intersection first. But take a closer look. The image also shows working traffic lights, so this intersection is regulated. According to the rule, traffic light signals, except for flashing yellow lights, have priority over road signs. In view of this, it is also worth mentioning the rule. When turning left or making a U-turn at a green main traffic light, the driver of a non-rail vehicle must give way to vehicles traveling in the opposite direction straight ahead or turning right. Since the driver of the red car is turning left on a green traffic light, he must give way to the driver of the white car, who is turning right. Therefore, the correct answer is number 1. The white car will pass the intersection first. The correct order of passing intersections is the key to road safety in cities. Therefore, you should regularly check your knowledge of the relevant traffic rules. Which car will pass the intersection first? A difficult traffic rule problem. In it, you need to determine how 3 cars that have arrived at the intersection at the same time will pass each other. Look at the picture that sets out the conditions of the task. In it, we see a blue, yellow, and red car approaching an unregulated intersection at the same time. Your task is to determine which of them should pass first according to the rules. There are, of course, 3 possible answers. Option 1, the red car. Option 2, the yellow car. Option 3, the blue car. Choose the option you think is correct. Be sure to explain your answer. Then move on to interpreting the situation. Analysis of the situation. So, if you look closely at the image, you can see a main road sign at the intersection with a sign indicating which part of the intersection is the main one. According to them, the blue and yellow cars have priority over the red car, which is traveling on a secondary road. This means that the driver of the red car must definitely give way to them. In turn, The drivers of the yellow and blue cars must determine the order of passage between themselves according to the right-hand rule. Since the yellow car is approaching the blue car from the right, it has priority according to the rules. Thus, according to the conditions of the problem, the order of passage through the intersection will be as follows. The yellow car will pass first, then the blue car, and finally the red car. Therefore, the second answer option is correct. Subscribe to the channel, like it, and share this video with your friends.